Hello everyone, how are you doing? Hopefully everything is great. Today's session is about comparatives and superlatives. How can we use them in English? And what is meant by these two words? Okay. To make it simple, just have a look at this picture. So do you see this ball? Yeah, it's big. What about this one? Compared to the first one, it's bigger. That's the comparative form. Okay, if we look at this, it's the biggest. Yeah, that's a superlative form. Okay, when can I use it and how can I use it? Let's have a look at the first one. For comparison, we are talking about adjectives. Okay, we have two types of adjectives, short and long, and I'm gonna explain now what is meant by each one of them. For the short, we add er and then than. So just like tall, taller, short, shorter, small, smaller. So Ahmed is taller than Ali, for example. For the longer one, like beautiful, like correct, like comfortable, we say maths is more difficult than English. Still, we didn't get it. How can we apply the rule? Okay. First, what is meant by comparison? It means you are comparing between two things. These things could be countries, could be persons, could be hotels, could be restaurants, could be anything. Okay? You compare between two things. That's why we use the comparison. So here, I prefer the leather jacket. It's nicer than the wool one. So here, if you notice, we have two jackets, the leather one and the wool one. So here you have to, it's nicer than the wool one. Okay, nicer. So it means that I add R to the adjective. No, let's have a look at the rules so that we can understand how can we apply this. We have 7 rules for the comparison, guys. The first rule, one syllable adjective, which we know as small adjectives. When we were at a school, they used to tell us if the adjective is small. What is meant by small? Now, as an adult, you have to understand. One syllable adjective. What is meant by one syllable adjective? So, for example, if I wrote here the word, let's say big, this adjective has how many vowels? So if I'm gonna say it consists of what? Consonant, and then I have a vowel, and then I have a consonant. Okay, very good. So it has it has what? Again, it has what? One vowel. Very good. Okay, let's see another adjective. We can write it here. Okay, small. How many vowels do we have? It has one vowel. Okay, it has one vowel. Okay, if I said a word like tall, how many vowels do we have? One vowel. Very good. So the number of syllables is equal to the number of the pronounced vowels. So if I have one vowel that is pronounced in this word, it means all of them are one or has one syllable. That's why when you speak and you find that the word that you are pronouncing is just a little bit large or difficult to pronounce, we divide it into syllables. Okay, let me tell you more. If I have a word like, okay, chicken, okay, so the first one, chicken. So it has what? Two vowels. And these vowels are pronounced, don't forget, two vowels. So it means it has how many syllables? Two syllables in this case. Very good. Let's try one more word. Okay, if I said the word expensive. Expensive is a large word, it is a big word, it's not a small one. So if I'd like to divide it, so I'm gonna say expensive. How many vowels? You are gonna tell me I have E, 1, 2, E, I, 3, and then E, 4. So we have four vowels. I'm gonna tell you four vowels, are you sure? Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, four vowels. Yes, but do we pronounce the last E? No. So it's not counted. So there are three vowels. Three vowels we pronounce, not silent. Okay. So three vowels. It means it has how many syllables? Three syllables. So you got it now, guys. So again, one syllable adjective. It means what? It means it's an adjective that has one pronounced vowel. We say it's a small adjective, yes, but this is not the correct word for this. You have to understand that it's one syllable, okay? For these adjectives, or one syllable adjectives or small adjectives, what shall we add in order to make the comparative form? We add er to the adjective and then we have than. Let's see the example here. If I have Ahmad is 190 centimeter and Yasin is 180, okay? And I want to compare between both of them. I have two persons, Ahmad and Yasin, or Ahmad and let's say Ali. It doesn't matter, okay? Very good. I just want to remove this to make it easy for all of you to see. Let's say that's Ali. As we said, Ahmed is 190 and Ali is 180. I want to compare between both of them. So I'm gonna say what Ahmed is, yeah, the adjective is tall. So tall is consisting of how many vowels? Pronounced vowels, one. So it's one syllable. So we shall add what? Er to this adjective, taller. And because I have Ali, I'm gonna say taller than Ali. So I have here one, Ahmed, and I have here two, Ali. I have two persons. Do you remember? Two things. I compare between them. Okay? Yeah, but I can say Ahmed is taller without than. That's why I put it like between brackets here. When can I do this? Okay, if I give you the numbers and then I said Ahmed is taller, it's understood that it's than Ali. So I remove than if I remove the Ali. But if I have Ali, I have to write than. So I can never say Ahmed is taller Ali. It's a mistake. I can't I can't make it like this. Ahmed taller Ali. It's a mistake in English. No, if you are going to remove than, you are gonna remove the one, the thing that is compared, or the person who is compared, and because it's understood in this case. Okay? Very good. Let's move on to the second rule. That's the first rule that we have. Rule number two, two syllable adjectives or more. Two syllable adjective or more, or more. We say it's a big, okay? It's not a small adjective in this case. We say it's a big adjective, a little bit longer adjective. We can say big adjective, and you may hear the word long adjectives, which is more common. So if I have two syllable adjectives or more, what should we do with that? Okay, if you have the word, let's say difficult, so I'm gonna add er, difficulter, even it's not gonna be easy to read. So I can't add er to the adjective in this case. Difficulter, no. Comfortabler, it's not easy to pronounce and it's not easy to use in English. That's why we make what? We use more or less before the adjective, and then we add then, as we said, then is something that is fix it for all the comparison or for all the comparative forms, guys. So again, if I have English and Arabic, so I have two here, don't forget, we compare between two things, two persons, two countries, two cities, whatever. English is difficult, so I'm not gonna say difficult to learn, it's difficult to say it. So it's more difficult than Arabic, for example, okay? The opposite for more is what? So if I'm gonna start with Arabic, in this case, I'm gonna say Arabic is less difficult than English, but it's the same meaning in this case, okay? Okay, rule number 3, we have another rule, which is, if the adjective is ending in Y, what shall we do with that? We change the Y into I, and then we add the ER. Okay, so easy, easier, curly, curlier. Okay, so we removed what? We removed the Y here in this case, and we replaced it with I. Replaced the Y with I. So, okay, if I have two things here, science and history, so they are two subjects, comparing between two. Don't forget, you always have two things you are speaking about. Science is easier. You see easier, so you change the Y and then you added ER. Science is easier than history. And why I added than? Because I have history in this case. Okay, very simple and very easy rule. Rule number 4, if the word is the word consists of CVC, consonant, vowel, consonant, or ending with that one, how can we add the ER to this? We double the final consonant before we add the ER. So for example, the word big or thin, it consists of what? Consonant, and then vowel, and then consonant. Th, which is the consonant, then the I, which is the vowel in this case, and then the consonant, which is N. We make what? We double the final consonant, N or G or whatever, and then we add the ER. So Cairo, Alex. I have two cities here. I compare between them. So Cairo is bigger than Alex. Okay? That's rule number 4. Rule number 5. We have irregulars, guys. Every rule or each rule has an irregular one or has irregulars. So what's the irregular for this? Good. So good is where bad for they are one syllable words. So I'm gonna say gooder, better, farther. No, that's a mistake if I said that. There is nothing called that. So what's the comparative form for the word good? It's better, better, bad, worse, worse. For either, you can have it like farther or further. Both of them are correct. Okay? So if I have two persons, Yasin and Magdi, they are two persons in this case. Is better, Yasin is better than Magdi. Okay? So better than, better than. So better is the comparative form for what? For good. Okay? Rule number 6. So we said the irregular, and then rule number 6. There are some adjectives that can have both ER or more. Both of them are correct. Like the word simple. You can find the comparison as simpler or more simple. It's okay. You can use both of them. The easiest for you, you can use quiet, more quiet. Okay? So you have what? Quieter, sorry, and more quiet in this case. Both of them are correct. So exam A was simpler than exam B. So you added ER in this case. It ends in E, so you added just R in this case. Simpler and then than. Or you can hear it like exam A was more simple than exam B. Both of them are equal. They are the same. And both of them are correct. Okay? What are the adjectives or adjective like what? How can I know the adjectives that can take ER or more? Here is a list. Okay, that's the adjective, the comparative form, the superlative form. We didn't take the superlative so far. Clever, you can have cleverer or more clever, commoner or more common, likelier or more likely, pleasanter or more pleasant, polite, white, simple, stupid, subtle, sure. These are the words that can have both, guys, ER or more. Which one should I use? The easiest for you. It's okay. So you have to memorize them in order to know how to use these adjectives. Okay? Okay, very good. Now, if I have equals or equality, guys, as in comparison, how can I say that they are equal? Simply we use as, and in the middle we put the adjective without adding anything to it, without adding any indents. So as, adjective as, and sometimes we use so instead of as well. Okay, so if I said, for example, Ahmed is 180 centimeter and Mustafa is 180 centimeter, how can I compare between them? We can say Mustafa is as tall as Ahmed. They are the same, equality, the same one. There is no difference between them. So as, okay? Now, we said that's equal. Okay, if I want to get back to the first rule, do you remember? Okay, our first one, yes, that's it. Ahmed is 190 centimeter, or Ali is 180 centimeter, okay? Can I use as here? You are gonna tell me no, they are not equal. I'm gonna tell you yes, we can use it. How can we use it? We can simply say negative. Ali isn't as tall as Ahmed. So simply you can say it like this, guys. Okay, Ali isn't as tall as Ahmed. So you can use it in the negative form, okay, or you can use it in the positive form as we said. Okay, you got it now? That's the equal. There is a note I want you to remember, guys, here regarding these rules. These rules apply for adverbs too. Do you remember what is meant by adverb, guys? What's an adverb? Yeah, ending in what? ly mostly, except for some. But in the rule of adverb, we don't change the y, except for the y. What is meant by this? I told you a minute ago that if you have an adjective like easy, how can you make the comparative? You make what? You change the y into I, so you say easier, I-E-R. In the case of the adverb, we don't do this. We don't change it. We say more quickly. We don't change the y in this case. Okay, so we say more or less before. Now I want you to think, if you have planes and the trains, and you'd like to write 3 sentences as a kind of comparison between them, what sentences can you write? I want you to try to think of 1 syllable adjective, 2 syllable adjectives or more, and we can think also of as if you'd like to use. So I want you to try to use 3 sentences to compare between planes and trains. Okay? Now let's move on to the next. Complete the following sentences. My brother is my sister. I want to make the comparison. How can you make it? Using the word tool. Eric is Adam, short. Her shoes are Anna's shoes, good. Mike's hair is Sandy's hair, curly. I think cats are dogs, good. Ted's drawings are Barney's drawings, bad. Jack is Rose, smart. Jasmine is Joe, old. I think chocolate cake is apple pie, good. Okay, so that's your assignment. Now, what about superlatives, guys? What's the difference between this and the comparison or the comparative form that we have been talking about a minute ago? Well, for superlative, it's the same rules like the comparison exactly, except we change the ending. Instead of er, we say est. Instead of than, we say that. That's it. But they have the same rules. So when can I use it? If I talk about one thing. Do you remember comparison? We said what? 2 things, you compare between them. Here you are speaking about just one thing compared to a group or to all or to everything. So you are just speaking about one. Let's have a look at this. I buy that leather jacket. So do we have another type of jackets here? No. You say what? It's the cheapest. It's the cheapest compared to all other types. Okay? So you are speaking only about one, not two things. To make it easier for you, let's have a look at this example. One syllable adjective, which is small in this case, we are making what here? The, and the is one of the main things in this rule, guys. We never omit it, okay? So the, and then the adjective, and then we add est. So Ahmed is 190, Yasin is 180, Muhammad is 170, Mustafa is 185. Ahmed is the tallest. So I'm here talking about who? Ahmed only, just one. And it's understood that we compare him to everyone else, to all, or to this group. So Ahmed is the tallest. How can we make the adjective? It's one syllable. Do you remember? One syllable, one adjective. One syllable adjective. It means it has one pronounced vowel, tall. So we added that before it, and then we added to the adjective est. So Ahmed is the tallest. I can add this word. I can say Ahmed is the tallest student in class, or Ahmed is the tallest one in class. Okay, so, or just is the tallest, and it's understood than who. Okay, so that's the first rule. Do you remember? If I have one syllable adjective having only one vowel, one pronounced vowel, like fast, like young, in the comparison we add er, faster or younger. In the superlative we add what? We add the and then est. The fastest, the youngest. Have a look at the example. A dog is faster than an elephant. You have here two animals, dog and elephant. We have the dog and the elephant. So faster than. Can I say more fast? No, we said it's one syllable adjective, so we add er. What about the superlative? Do you remember? The horse is the fastest of all the three animals, of all the group. Okay, the horse is the, and then the verb, the adjective, and est. Then we have two syllable adjectives or more. I just forgot right there. Okay, two syllable adjective or more. What shall we do with this? Okay, the, as we said, we have to put it, and then most or least. The most or least, and then the adjective. We don't add anything to the adjective. Okay, because it's difficult to pronounce it. Difficult. We can't do this. So we say Chinese, for example, as a language, is the most difficult language in the world. I'm speaking here about what? Chinese only. I don't compare it with just one. I compare it to all the languages in the world. Okay, so I'm speaking about one compared to all. So Chinese, Chinese is the most difficult language in the world. Okay, if I have Y, what shall we do with the Y? Do you remember our rule? Yes, the Y changes into I, but in this case, I'm gonna add est. So I'm gonna say what? Easy. The easiest. The, and then est. Curly, the curliest. Science is the easiest subject. So I'm speaking only about science. Okay? In compared to all other subjects. Okay? Sorry, I forgot just to say this one more time. If I have this example, a dog is faster than an elephant, a comparative, it compares between two. The horse is the fastest, it means what? Compares one thing to all others in the same group. Okay? And the I changes into IEST, as we said, and then we have. Okay, so again, I'm gonna repeat it, sorry. The Y changes into I, and then I add the EST or ER, okay? If the comparative form ER, in the superlative form, we add EST, that's it. Two syllables ending in Y, happy, crazy, okay? So we remove the Y and add I. So here, happier, crazier, with the superlative, the happiest, the craziest. We never leave the Y. We remove the Y and replace it with I. Don't forget, okay? Okay. Rule number 4, the CVC word. Do you remember what shall we do with the CVC word? The same rules. That's why I told you the superlative, the same like the comparison, same rules. Double the final consonant, but we add the before the adjective and then we add est to the adjective. So the biggest, the thinnest, and you see how we double the final consonant before we add the est. So Cairo is the biggest city in Egypt. I'm speaking here about what Cairo only compared to all other cities in Egypt. Okay, we added that and then the adjective, then the final consonant, we doubled that, and then est. Why? Because the word is CVC, consisting of consonant and then vowel and then another consonant. Okay. Rule number 5, irregulars. They are the same. They have the same irregular form. Good changes from better to the best. Bad, the worst. Far, the farthest or the furthest. Okay. Yasin is the best student in the school. So I'm speaking here only about Yasin, and he is the best student. Just I'm talking about one compared to all. The and then the irregular form. Okay. Best student. Number 6, rule number 6. Adjective with both. They can take est or the most or the least. Simple, the simplest or the most simple. Both are correct. This is the simplest kind of chemical action. The simplest kind of chemical action. I compare it to any other action or chemical action. Okay, simplest. Okay. You can say the most simple as well. It's gonna be correct. So now, the superlative we use to compare, as we said, one to all or more. The elephant is the biggest animal, okay, compared to all other. The biggest, the smallest, the tallest, the shortest. If it's ending in Y, you change the Y into I. The heaviest, the happiest, the funniest, the prettiest. If it's two more syllable or two, the most or the least, the most beautiful, the most interesting, the most dangerous, the most expensive, and so on. Good, it changes into the best. Bad, it changes into the worst. If I'm asking a question, which is the biggest animal, so I use just one. I'm talking about animal, just one animal, okay? Which is the biggest animal. What's the most beautiful flower in the world? I'm speaking about just one flower compared to all. Okay, to revise one more time. So we are talking about what? We are talking about comparatives and superlatives, guys. The dog is faster than the elephant. I'm speaking about two and I compare between them. The horse is the fastest. I'm talking about only one. The horse is bigger than the dog. The elephant is the heaviest. I'm speaking about only one. The dog is more energetic than the elephant. One syllable, we add er or est, the fastest or faster. One syllable ending in e, we just add r. In this case, he is nicer, stranger, or the nicest or the strangest. One syllable consonant short vowel, that's the CVC, we double the last consonant before adding the endings. Bigger, the biggest. Hot, hotter, the hottest. Two syllable ending in y, we change the y into I. Happier, the happiest. Two or more syllables in general, we add more or less or the most. More famous or the most famous. More beautiful or the most beautiful. Exceptions like what? Like good, better, and the best, bad, worse, and the worst. It's repeated here one more time. I just have for the irregulars, they are added here: little, less, and least. The least for sure. Much, more, and the most. Okay. Now, I want you to have a look at these questions and try to complete these. Try to complete them. You are gonna do two things here. Sorry, you are gonna complete the question and answer the question at the same time. What country is? So I'm gonna say better or the best to live in. Why? So you are gonna answer the question. Okay, for you about yourself. The rest, all the questions as well. The rest for all. I mean. Now let's move on. Write a paragraph to compare between two things. You are going to write a paragraph to compare between any two things. Two, let's say two hotels, two restaurants, two cities, two countries, two famous persons in the same field, two subjects. It's up to you. Okay, two malls. So as you like or as you wish. Okay. page 16 to from page 16 to page 18, the worksheet 1, workbook 1, page 21, number 6. And now I want you to try to answer these as well. Just a minute. Have a look at these questions. You are going to use comparative or superlative forms of the adjectives in the brackets. Complete the sentences in English. They are 20? Yes, they are 20. So that's it, guys. Try to complete it using, it's a mix between the comparative form and the superlative form as well. Okay? Then we have Randall listening before we move to our book. So I want you to listen and try to answer the questions. You have to listen in just a minute. I'm gonna open that second one as well. Okay, college life or school life. That's the first one. Have a look at the questions. What does the man want to do after he graduates? What's the woman's major? How does the woman pay for college? What does the man, where does the man work part-time? What thing did the man not say about his job? Okay? Listen and try to answer these questions, please.
Oh, hi Dave. Long time no see. Hi Maria. I was in the neighborhood, so I thought I'd drop by. Come on in. Thanks. Take a seat. Would you like anything to drink? I have Sprite or orange juice. Sprite would be fine. So how have you been? Not bad. And you? I'm doing okay. But school has been really hectic these days, and I haven't had time to relax. By the way, what's your major anyway? Hotel management. Well, what do you want to do once you graduate? I haven't decided for sure, but I think I'd like to work for a hotel or travel agency in this area. How about you? Well, when I first started college, I wanted to major in French, but I realized I might have a hard time finding a job using the language. So I changed majors to computer science. Oh. With the right skills, landing a job in the computer industry shouldn't be as difficult. So, do you have a part-time job to support yourself through school? Well, fortunately for me, I received a 4-year academic scholarship. Wow. That pays for all of my tuition and books. Wow, that's great. Yeah. How about you? Are you working your way through school? Yeah, I work 3 times a week at a restaurant near campus. Oh, what do you do there? I'm a cook. How do you like your job? It's okay. The other workers are friendly, and the pay isn't bad.
Okay, so try to answer these, please. And then we have another listening. Just have a look at the questions before you start a telephone conversation between 2 men. One purpose of the center is to help learners. What's one course taught at the English Language Center? If the fall semester begins on August 29th, by what date should one apply to the program? What's the tuition for a full-time student? Students need to send what to the center? These are the questions. So let's try to answer them.
English Language Center, how may I help you? Yes, I'm calling to find out more information about your program. For example, what kind of courses do you offer? Well, first of all, the purpose of our program is to provide language learning opportunities to this area's community. Whether a student's goal is to master basic functional language skills, let's say for his or her job, or to study intensively to enter a U.S. college or university. Okay. I'm calling for a friend who's interested in attending a U.S. university. And that's the kind of instruction that we provide, from basic communication courses to content-based classes such as computer literacy, intercultural communication, and business English. Great. What are your application deadlines for the next semester? Well, we ask applicants to apply no later than 2 months before the semester begins. This gives us time to process the application and issue the student's I-20. An I-20? Oh, an I-20 is a form that indicates that we are giving permission for the student to study in our program. And then the student takes this form to the U.S. Embassy in his or her country to apply for the F1 student visa. All right. What is the tuition for a full-time student? It's $2,030. How does one apply? Well, we can send you an application and you can mail that to us, or you can fill out our application that's online at our website. And are there other materials I would need to send in addition to the application form? Yes, you would need to send in a $35 non-refundable application fee, a sponsorship form indicating who will be responsible financially for the student while studying in our program, and a bank statement showing that you or your sponsor has sufficient funds to cover tuition expenses and living costs for the entire year of study. And how can I send these materials to you? You can either send the application packet by regular mail or you can fax it. And the application fee? We accept money orders, traveler's checks, or credit cards. All right, I think that's about it. Okay, great. Oh, and what is your name? Okay, my name is Tony Nelson. You can just call and ask for me. Great, thank you for your help. No problem, and please don't hesitate to call again if you have any other questions. Okay, goodbye.
Okay, now one more time. Our book, comparisons with adjectives. Which one do you prefer? I prefer the leather one. That one is nicer than the wool one. This one is cheaper, prettier than, bigger than, more attractive than. So we have the same rules as we said. Nice already ending in E, so we added R. It's one syllable. Cheap, we added ER. Pretty ending in Y, changed it into I. Bigger, we double the final consonant. And good is an irregular. Now you have a look at these questions. Complete these conversations. Which tie is the orange one or the blue one? Well, the blue one is silk and silk is polyester. Try to answer these questions. It's an assignment, guys. I think that's it. No more questions related to this part. Yes, okay, that's it. Well, I think that's the end of our session today. If you have any question, you can ask. Thank you and have a nice day, all of you.